What's up guys, Ben here and welcome to Motivation to Invest. We all know exercise is healthy for your body, but is it also healthy for your mind? And more importantly, can it make you smarter and more successful?
1001, 1002,
Mr. Burgundy,
1003.
Helen said that you needed to see me.
Oh, Miss Corningstone. I wasn't expecting company.
In this video, we're going to find out as I study the medical research on the effects of exercise on the brain, explain how it works and the benefits in terms of both intelligence and success. So without further ado, let's dive in.
Coming in, flex, I just wanna win.
Welcome back guys to Motivation to Invest. Before we get started, it would really mean a lot to me if you guys could smash that like button. That helps out with the YouTube algorithm, which allows us to continue creating more great content like this for you guys. In addition, if you would like some exclusive stock market investing tips and stock market picks, which I personally have invested into, then you should definitely think about subscribing to this channel. Be sure to turn the notification bell on, that way you'll get notified when a great stock is at a great price and I am investing into it. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So what is intelligence? Well, according to the Oxford Dictionary, intelligence is the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. I love the way Warren Buffett explains IQ. He explains that your IQ can be like the size of the engine on the car. Some people have more powerful engines than others. And the famous psychologist Jordan Peterson states that improving your IQ can be very difficult.
And so these are determinants of lifetime success, as far as I can tell. And I would think about this because I'll tell you what it is that you need to do to be successful. Some of these things aren't so malleable, but others are things that you can work on. Well, IQ, well, that's a rough one because there's no evidence, as far as I can tell, that you can do a damn thing about your IQ. I was just reading a paper by Dan Simon today. It's a relatively recent review. Dan Simon did the invisible gorilla stuff, and he was looking, because there's all these companies that claim that these online brain training exercises can produce cognitive improvements, and he reviewed the literature again. And I've reviewed that literature like 6 times in the last 15 years because I keep hoping that someone will crack the problem, but it's always the same answer. It's like you do brain training games, you get better at the game, a lot better at that game. You get slightly better at similar games, but distal games that are still heavily cognitively loaded doesn't affect your performance at all. Zero, none. So the issue of how to raise IQ, man, that's a killer. No one knows how to do it. I can tell you how to stop your IQ from decreasing as you get older. That's not so bad because it does that. Fluid IQ decreases from the time you're 20 and pretty rapidly. It's physical health is the best preventative, so exercise, physical exercise.
However, IQ is not the only factor which determines how smart you are and how successful you are. There's also your brain efficiency, how your brain applies the knowledge and skills that it's learned. Warren Buffett explains this as like 2 cars with 2 different size engines. One car had a smaller engine but is more efficient, and the other car has a larger engine but is less efficient. It turns out the smaller car can go much faster than the bigger car, just because it's more efficient. Your brain efficiency is something that you can work on. So what is the effect of exercise on the brain? Is it really that healthy? Well, the answer is yes. In a book called Spark, written by Dr. John Ratey, exercise has more positive effects on the brain than any other part of your body. This is completely mind-blowing. In the book, it's stated that exercise boosts your motivation, focus, and memory function. So how does this work? Well, first let's understand how the brain works. The brain is not a fixed organ which cannot be changed. It's an adaptable organ which can be changed based upon what you do with it.
Let me understand this a little bit. So we run on a program that is not fixed. It's a program that allows us to adapt to our environment. And what I think you're saying is that changes in our environment really inform the programs that run so we can maintain some kind of level of ability to learn, function, that sort of thing. So what's going on in that? What's going on in the running and the PPN. How does running change it, and why, for gosh sakes, does that occur?
Yes, it's a fascinating set of questions, Bill, because many people, including you and I on various occasions, like to run. It's a good form of exercise. We like to do this. We know that it has a variety of benefits, including the formation of new neurons in regions of the brain in the hippocampus.
Everything we do, think and feel is governed by our brain cells or neurons. What connects them are neurotransmitters. Now there are many types of neurotransmitters, such as those which release dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine searches for rewards to motivate you to achieve tasks. From evolution theory, this would be when we have hunted and gained food, or had sex and spread our genes. Imagine if we didn't get this dopamine hit after sex, then we would just not be motivated to do it, and thus a whole species would become extinct. Now, have you ever had them days where you feel unmotivated, lethargic, and you just don't really know what to do with yourself? That is probably because your dopamine levels are low. A symptom of this is lack of motivation. There was actually a study done in which they turned off the dopamine transmitters in the brain of a rat. To everyone's shock, the rat was not motivated to get the cheese and thus died of starvation. Now, drugs such as cocaine boost your dopamine levels, which is why people feel good after. However, a healthier way of increasing dopamine levels is simply by exercising, which instantly boosts your dopamine and is why you feel great after a workout. In evolution theory, we would have got this dopamine hit after going for a hunt, running, chasing animals down, etc. So what about serotonin? Well, serotonin regulates your brain's mood. Serotonin influences your mood, anger and aggressiveness to help keep your brain activity under control. For example, when you feel anxious or stressed out, that's probably because your serotonin level is low. This is why antidepressant pills focus on increasing your serotonin, because that will help you get out of depression and improve your mental health. No surprise, exercise has also been proven to increase your serotonin levels with no drugs required. This is the best cure for depression. Now there's also one more important neurotransmitter I'll talk about in this video. This neurotransmitter is norepinephrine, which affects your focus. So if you ever feel as if your brain is scattered and you can't focus, this may be because your norepinephrine is low. So how do we increase this? Well, exercise, of course. In the book Spark mentioned previously, the doctor calls exercise the magic pill, as it increases the amount all of these neurotransmitters fire. However, that's not all. Exercise also increases your learning ability and memory. This is because of something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Studies show that parts of your brain responsible for learning has BDNF. BDNF gets released when lots of blood is pumping to the brain, growing your brain cells and increasing your learning capacity. So which type of exercise helps the brain the most? Well, according to neuroscientists, aerobic exercise helps the brain function the most. Aerobic exercises are those exercises which increase your heart rate when your body is in an aerobic state. Aerobic means with air and refers to the body producing energy with the use of oxygen. This typically involves any exercise which lasts longer than 2 minutes and offers a continuous steady state of increased heart rate. The converse of this is anaerobic exercise, which means without air and refers to the body producing energy without oxygen. Anaerobic exercises are activities such as explosive sprints or heavy weightlifting sessions. Now, there is a small amount of evidence which also proves that anaerobic exercise can also improve brain function, but not as much as aerobic exercise. So how often should you exercise to feel these benefits? Well, medical studies show that you should exercise between 3 or 4 times per week, or other studies have shown 6 hours per week. So you should aim to increase your heart rate at least this many times. However, you need to apply this to your own personal situation and scale up the exercise gradually, from just simple walking to taking light jogs and then increase steadily. So when is the best time to exercise? Well, this is the age-old question. I have some friends that go to the gym at midnight, some that go at 6 a.m, but who's right? Well, the studies show that the early birds are correct if they want to improve their brain function. According to neuroscience research, exercising first thing in the morning is most beneficial for your brain, as it is increasing those neurotransmitters right before you need to use your brain to learn and remember. Now, if you contrast that to late night exercise, it's still beneficial for your brain, but not as beneficial as you won't be using your brain straight after on important tasks. So do successful people exercise? Well, the answer is yes. There are numerous studies that have shown that the most successful people in society are regular exercisers. Starting with an extreme example, you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, former professional bodybuilder who has won Mr. Universe multiple times. He also then transitioned to be a great movie star, businessman, author, and former governor of California. Apart from the improved brain function from regular exercising, there are a lot of indirect benefits, from goal setting to determination and discipline, which have all helped Arnold Schwarzenegger's life to improve massively. Many of his famous quotes prove this, such as, if you don't find the time, if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. When what we face may look insurmountable, but what I learned is that we are always stronger than we know. These are words of a wise man, not just some pumped up bodybuilder. But of course, Arnold is a very extreme example, so let's look at some people who also attribute exercise to helping them be successful, such as former President Barack Obama. In Barack Obama's autobiography, Dreams from My Father, he stated to be a casual drug user and underachiever until he started running 3 miles a day. These days, he continues to stick to his workout regime, which is a combination of strength and cardio. In an interview with Men's Health, Obama stated he works out for 45 minutes, 6 days a week, and he'll even wake up early to work out, despite not being a morning person. He's also been spotted playing basketball on courts in federal buildings around Washington. On to number 3, we have billionaire Mark Cuban, the former Shark Tank investor. In an interview with the Dallas Morning News, Mark Cuban states that he works out for at least an hour a day, 6 days a week, which includes playing basketball, kickboxing, and Latin fusion aerobic classes. On to number 4, we have Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, who works out 3 times a week. On to number 5, we have Warren Buffett, who surprisingly does exercise despite being spotted with many bad diet habits. He's a regular at McDonald's drive-thrus and loves a Coca-Cola. In a recent CNBC interview, Warren Buffett stated that to avoid having to change his diet suggested to him by doctors, he chose to exercise instead, the lesser of 2 evils. Then of course you have Apple CEO Tim Cook, who's at the gym at 5 a.m. every morning. And even Donald Trump, who doesn't look the healthiest, is widely successful and does play a lot of golf. So what is success? Well, to me, success can be defined in a variety of different ways, from financial success to physical success and relationship success. I have 5 pillars which I use to help judge how successful I am in certain areas. These are health, wealth, love, happiness, and time. Now, I may do a future video on my 5 pillars of success, so if that's something you might be interested in, comment below. So do I work out? Well, the fact is, yes. I love hitting the gym between 4 and 6 times per week, as it releases endorphins into my brain straight after, and I feel incredible. It also clears my mind, reduces my stress, and improves myself in many ways. In addition to the gym, I also used to play a lot of football, and I've started really getting into Thai boxing. I even did a Thai boxing camp out in Thailand, which I found not only improved my cardio, but also my mind-muscle connection. It was an incredible experience and highly recommended. Moreover, I also enjoy a bit of yoga, and surprisingly it's harder than you think, so I recommend you guys try it. Overall, it's not really what you do, it's just that you're doing something. Next time you see the elevator and you see the stairs, take the stairs. Next time you think you've got time to go for a little jog in the morning, do it. A fast walk, that's good enough. A little bit of tennis, go for it. Whatever you can do to improve your fitness will not just help your body, but also your mind and your soul. So what do you think about exercise? Do you think you need it to be successful? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll join in the discussion. In addition, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. That allows us to continue creating more great content like this for you guys. In addition, if you would like more investing tips and exclusive stock market picks, which I personally have invested into, then you should definitely subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah, LABB who we running with, coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah, LA